Take a guess. If you are a welder and looking at an opportunity in Australia and you're having close to 4 years of experience, what do you think the kind of salary you are eligible to get? Up to $125,000 per annum. And if you are interested to that opportunity and you need to know that what are the eligibility criteria and how you can become eligible for such opportunity. That's what exactly we're going to see in this video. In recent times in Australia, the manufacturing industry is booming. Traditionally, if you look at Australia as not having such opportunities earlier, but in the recent times, number of new opportunities has popped up, varying from construction industry to manufacturing industry and the mining industry. The need for qualified and skilled welders are very high, especially if you are into TIG welding, gas welding, MIG welding and spot welding. And each and every one of the specialized area have a fantastic opportunity and able to find distinctive industries of your expertise. You may be wondering all of a sudden what makes the welding industry is booming in Australia. That is from number of reasons and number of projects. One of the very considerable area which you look at is the boom in the housing sector in Australia. The construction industry has such an opportunity for skilled welders. One such interesting project is the new AUKUS submarine deal. Australia is going to build specialist submarines for the naval requirements, and that's going to have at least for the next 5 to 10 years of opportunity for specialist welders. Mainly the welders are dealing with ship hull welding and also the submarine and the shipbuilding industry welding, where the opportunity is fantastic and phenomenally high. So you can imagine the kind of requirement and the demand they have for skilled welders like you. If you look at the salary and the compensation looking at working as a welder in Australia, it starts from $73,150 per annum and can go up to $125,000 per annum based on the skill, the experience and the expertise you have. And the minimum wages for Australia has been defined as $73,150 for any trade industry if you're looking at. So that is going to be the minimum you'll be looking at as a salary per annum. And you may be wondering what you need to do to become eligible to apply for such positions. Number one, you need to finish your skill assessment. Skill assessment is a mandatory requirement for any trade jobs you look for, and there is a specialist trade assessment body will assess your welding skills based on desktop and the technical interview, and this particular process is very important and it will take up to 2 to 3 months for you to complete this. And this skill assessment is mandatory, and getting a successful outcome letter is very important for you to apply for a skills in demand work permit visa. And it's very important you need to successfully complete one of the accepted English testing program, and you need to score the required band for you to apply for the visa. If it is a skills in demand visa, the requirement is between 5 and 5.5. And if you're looking for a different kind of visa, then the requirement varies from 5.5 even goes up to 6 to 7. An interesting thing about the Australian welding industry is especially that doesn't have an age limit for a work permit visa. As long as you are active and you are able to prove a good productivity, the sponsor doesn't care about your age. But still, it's preferred that you are going to be under 45 to able to attract number of sponsors for your SID visa. Some of you wondering that the SID visa requirement for a minimum experience is about 1 year, and you maybe think, look, if you have a 1 year experience, whether you are eligible to apply for this particular process. Unfortunately, you're not, because when you go through the skill assessment, at the moment, the skill assessment body requirement for a minimum experience is going to be 3 years. So it's ideal you are supposed to have a minimum of 3+ years experience so that you are eligible both for the skill assessment as well as apply for the skills in demand visa. Australian metal fabrication and welding industry works little different than some part of the world, especially when you talk about what is the difference between the metal fabricator and welder. Many of you say that you are just a welder, not a metal fabricator, but in the Australian context, a metal fabricator is the one who is able to read the drawings, able to design the process of the production, and also involved welding as part of the requirement. So welding is just a part of the component of the whole metal fabrication. So if you are a metal fabricator, you having a 360 view of the manufacturing and the production industry, then you have a better opportunity in Australia. But still, there is a huge demand for specific specialist welders as well. So you have the opportunity both for metal fabricators as well as for welders, and all you have to look at is you need to identify which of specializations you need to apply for the skill assessment. Look at this way, you have a 3+ years of genuine experience in the welding or the metal fabrication industry, and you feel that you have a good communication knowledge in English and you are able to clear the skill assessment. And what you're waiting for? Australia is an opportunity where you can able to explore that opportunity both from short-term SID visas to a long-term permanent residency visas based on what you are eligible for. And what you need to do is start your process with your skill assessment, parallelly get your English exam done so that you become a potential trade person in Australia, apply for a skills in demand visa.